Welcome to Tech Talk. Every industry transformation creates winners and losers. According to Deloitte's 2026 Engineering and Construction Industry Outlook, the construction sector is undergoing its most significant restructuring in decades, and the competitive landscape is being completely redrawn. Some firms will emerge stronger, capturing market share and commanding premium pricing. Others will struggle to survive, and some won't make it at all. Today, we're analyzing who's positioned to win, who's fighting to survive, and who's already being left behind. The clear winners: large, digitally enareoed firms. Let's start with the firms that are thriving in this environment. Large construction enterprises with the resources to invest heavily in digital transformation are pulling ahead of the pack. They're deploying AI-driven analytics, real-time project management platforms, and autonomous equipment at scale. Building information modeling, digital twins, and computer vision systems are becoming standard across their operations. These firms can reduce project timelines by up to 20% through digital workflows, giving them a decisive advantage when bidding for time-sensitive projects like data centers. They're also better positioned to absorb tariff shocks and material cost volatility because they operate at volumes that allow for strategic stockpiling and have the financial reserves to weather price fluctuations. Large firms are winning the data center boom. They've invested in specialized capabilities, built partnerships with hyperscalers, and developed expertise in the complex electrical and cooling systems these projects require. When a tech company needs to build a massive AI data center, they're not calling a mid-market general contractor. They're calling firms with proven track records on mega projects. Commercial and institutional planning activity increased 30% year over year in August 2025, and large firms are capturing a disproportionate share of that growth. They can offer vertically integrated services from design through construction, which developers value in an environment where coordination between trades is increasingly difficult. The workforce crisis actually benefits these large firms in a counterintuitive way. When skilled workers are scarce, they gravitate towards stable employers with competitive benefits, training programs, and career advancement opportunities. Large construction firms can offer all of that. They're not just competing for today's workers, they're investing in workforce development programs to create tomorrow's workers, building loyalty early. The strategic survivors: Agile mid-market specialists. Mid-market construction firms face a more challenging landscape, but those that adapt quickly can still thrive through specialization and agility. These firms can't compete directly with large enterprises for mega projects, but they're finding success in niches where relationships, local expertise, and flexibility matter more than scale. Property conversions, particularly office to residential conversions, represent a strong opportunity for mid-market firms. These projects require creativity, problem-solving, and the ability to work within existing structures, areas where smaller, more nimble firms can excel. Demand for conversions remains strong in areas with high office vacancy rates, and large firms often view these projects as too small or too complex relative to their preferred project sizes. Mid-market firms that embrace digital transformation selectively, focusing on tools that deliver immediate ROI rather than comprehensive transformation, can compete effectively. A mid-sized contractor might not need an enterprise-wide AI scheduling system, but computer vision for safety monitoring or basic BIM integration can deliver competitive advantages without massive capital investment. Strategic partnerships are crucial for survival in the mid-market. Firms that build strong relationships with material suppliers can secure better pricing and more reliable delivery schedules. Those that develop partnerships with digital technology providers can access advanced tools through subscription models, rather than buying and implementing systems independently. However, mid-market firms are the most vulnerable to the financial contradictions of the current environment. Operating on 3 to 5% margins, they lack the financial buffers large firms enjoy. When tariffs push material costs up unexpectedly, or when labor shortages delay projects and trigger penalty clauses, these firms feel the pain acutely. Many are incorporating tariff adjustment clauses into new contracts, but that makes them less competitive against larger firms that can absorb some risk. The survivors in this segment will be those that choose their markets carefully, specialize deeply, maintain financial discipline, and form strategic partnerships. Trying to be generalists competing across all segments is increasingly untenable. The endangered, traditional small contractors. Small construction contractors operating with traditional business models are facing existential pressure. These are firms that haven't adopted digital tools, rely on manual scheduling and paper-based processes, and compete primarily on price. The current environment is systematically eliminating their competitive advantages while amplifying their weaknesses. Small contractors typically lack the financial resources to stockpile materials or absorb cost fluctuations. When steel prices spike 30%, they either walk away from contracts or complete projects at a loss. The 88.2% surge in project abandonment activity includes a significant number of small contractors who couldn't make the math work. These firms also struggle most with workforce recruitment. They can't offer the wages, benefits, or career development that larger competitors provide. In a market where only 7% of potential job seekers consider construction careers, small contractors are fighting over an even smaller subset of workers willing to accept lower pay and less stability. Digital transformation represents another existential challenge. Small contractors often lack not just the capital to invest in new technologies, but the internal expertise to implement them effectively. When project owners and developers increasingly expect digital collaboration tools, BIM integration, and real-time project tracking, firms without these capabilities simply can't compete for certain projects. Access to capital is tightening for small contractors. Banks and lenders are becoming more risk-averse in an uncertain economic environment, and small construction firms, already viewed as higher risk due to thin margins and project volatility, are finding it harder to secure bonding and financing for projects. Some small contractors will survive by becoming highly specialized subcontractors, focusing on specific trades where craftsmanship and expertise matter more than scale. But the general small contractor competing on price alone is an endangered species. The losers, firms slow to adapt. Across all size categories, firms that are slow to adapt to the new reality are losing ground rapidly. This includes companies still operating with pre-2020 business models, resisting digital transformation, and assuming market conditions will return to historical norms. Construction firms that haven't developed expertise in high-growth sectors like data centers and energy infrastructure are watching opportunities pass them by. When commercial construction spending is concentrating in specific segments, being positioned in declining segments is a strategic dead end. Office construction is soft. Generic retail is uncertain. Firms specialized in these areas without pivoting strategies are in trouble. Companies operating without robust data governance frameworks are discovering that their attempts at digital transformation don't deliver expected returns. They've bought expensive software, but poor quality data makes the analytics unreliable and the AI tools ineffective. These firms are experiencing the costs of transformation without the benefits, putting them in worse competitive position than before they started. Firms that haven't addressed workforce development are losing their experienced workers to retirement without replacements. By 2031, 41% of construction workers are expected to retire. Companies without apprenticeship programs, training initiatives, or partnerships with technical schools are simply going to run out of skilled labor. You can't build without builders. The losers also include firms that ignored supply chain fragility warnings. Nearly 50% of construction executives classify supply chains as fragile due to geopolitical tensions. But some firms continued operating with just-in-time material procurement and single-source suppliers. Tariffs and disruptions caught them completely unprepared, leading to project delays, cost overruns, and damaged client relationships. The unexpected winners: technology providers to construction. While construction firms navigate this turbulent environment, companies selling technology solutions to the industry are thriving. Providers of AI-driven scheduling software, building information modeling platforms, computer vision safety systems, and construction robotics are experiencing explosive demand. Construction firms that were historically resistant to technology spending are now viewing digital tools as essential for survival. That shift in mindset is creating a massive market for construction technology providers. The urgency is creating less price sensitivity. Firms aren't shopping for the cheapest solution. They're shopping for the solution that works fastest. Companies providing workforce development and training programs are also winning. With the need for 499,000 new workers by 2026 and the industry struggling to attract talent, any organization that can help solve the workforce pipeline problem is valuable. This includes technical schools, online training platforms, apprenticeship management systems, and workforce recruitment services specialized in construction. Material suppliers that can offer price stability and reliable delivery schedules have pricing power right now. Construction firms are willing to pay premiums for predictability. Suppliers offering innovative materials that can substitute for tariff-impacted traditional materials are also seeing strong demand. The regional winners and losers. Geography matters significantly in determining winners and losers. Regions with strong data center construction activity, areas with available land, reliable power infrastructure, and favorable regulatory environments are seeing construction booms. Firms positioned in these markets are thriving. Conversely, regions dependent on office construction or retail development are struggling. Cities with high office vacancy rates present opportunities for conversion projects, but only for firms with the right expertise. Rural areas face the most severe workforce shortages, with limited access to the technical talent needed for digital transformation. States that invested in construction workforce development programs are seeing better outcomes than those that didn't. Regions with strong technical education infrastructure can attract and retain construction firms because the talent pipeline is more robust. The critical choice point. Every construction firm, regardless of size or specialization, faces critical strategic choices right now. Invest aggressively in digital transformation or maintain traditional operations. Pivot toward high-growth sectors like data centers, or double down on existing specializations. Expand through acquisition to gain scale, or remain independent and focus on agility. These choices have different risk-reward profiles depending on firm size, financial position, and market positioning. But the most dangerous choice is making no choice, assuming that waiting out the turbulence is viable. The competitive landscape is being redrawn now, and firms that aren't actively positioning themselves are being positioned by default, usually unfavorably. The construction industry coming out of this transformation will have a different competitive structure. Market concentration will likely increase as large firms capture disproportionate share of high-value projects. Successful mid-market firms will be more specialized and digitally capable than today's average mid-market contractor. Small generalists will largely disappear, replaced by specialized subcontractors and digitally enabled service providers. Closing. The construction industry's transformation isn't creating a level playing field where everyone has equal opportunity. It's creating a stratified market where competitive positioning matters more than ever. Some firms are leveraging this moment to pull ahead decisively. Others are fighting hard to maintain their position. And some are discovering that their business model is simply incompatible with the new reality. The winners share common characteristics. They're making bold investments in digital capabilities. They're strategically positioned in high-growth sectors. They've addressed workforce challenges proactively, and they maintain the financial flexibility to weather uncertainty. The losers typically lack one or more of these attributes and are discovering that catching up becomes harder every month they fall behind. Where does your firm, or the firms you work with, fall on this spectrum? Are you positioned to win, fighting to survive, or already falling behind? Share your perspective in the comments. Subscribe to Tech Talk for more strategic analysis of industries in transformation. Thanks for watching.